this video, we're going to prove another fact about mappings. If theta is a one-to-one mapping onto itself such that lambda sub g times theta is nothing more than theta times lambda g, that is, the mappings commute, and this is for all g in the group G, we want to show that theta is really tau sub h. Well, two reasonable questions if you're not really up on this material. What is lambda sub g and what is the mapping tau sub h? Hence the review. Let g be in G. X lambda g is just multiplying on the left by g. So you take x and you multiply on the left by g. X times tau g, or tau g acting on x, is just the reverse. Multiply on the right by g. So you take x and you multiply on the right by g. And I want to show that theta is this tau mapping for some g. If you like watching mathematical proofs like this, subscribe to my channel, please. This is what we do here. Okay, so let x be an element of g. Now, let us look at x composed with, or this mapping, what it does to x. Well, this is x lambda g theta. But lambda g just multiplies on the left by g. And then theta comes along, and let's hold on. So we get that. Now, so let's see for a moment. We just looked at this mapping. Now let's look at the other mapping. Set x operated on by theta lambda g. First x gets operated on by theta and then by lambda g. But what lambda g is it multiplies that on the left by g, which becomes gx theta. Now, as I said in my last video, if you want to be slick, just write it this way. That is, after this line right here, you can write equals gx theta, and then write this, x theta lambda g, and then write this, x theta lambda g. So we don't really need this, and all I'm going to do is bring this up. And there's only one expression or one equality that shows this. Okay. So now what we have is this. This equals a string of things which equals this. So we now know that lambda g theta acts on x is the same as theta lambda g acting on x. These are equal. Now, if theta is tau sub h, if that is true, then let's look at this side. Then x lambda g theta is x lambda g tau sub h for some h in g. And this is x lambda g times tau h. And x lambda g, you multiply on the left by g. times tau sub h. H multiplies this on the right by h. Okay, now let's look at what happens here when I replace theta with lambda g. Sorry, with tau h. So x composed with no more theta, tau sub h times lambda g. This is x tau h, and then lambda g. This here is just xh. Lambda g, you take xh and you multiply it on the left by g. On the right by g. No, I said it correctly. Multiply on the left by g. Sorry. And this is what we have. And again, I can write this over here. All I did was use the associative law from here to here. And that equals this, xh tau g. And this equals that. And that's all I'm saying. X tau h lambda g. And this ultimately equals that. X tau h lambda g. So now what I want to say is, and maybe I'll even do it. Okay, so there's a way of writing it in one string. That is, this is equal to that. Well, this implies that tau h lambda g is equal to tau h lambda g. Oh, it is equal to this. It is equal to lambda g tau h. And that completes the proof. If you like watching mathematical proofs like this, it's a no-brainer in my opinion. Subscribe to my channel. Please leave a comment. I love reading all those negative comments that you give me. I get back at you by making up these proof videos. Please tell your friends and family members about my channel. Don't forget your enemies. See you guys in the next video. Watch and learn.